If you haven't had a chance to look at Hercules Legend of the Labors, I have previous drawing videos. There's speed drawing of that one somewhere. Free preview. Tonight we are going to be drawing the depiction of Hercules as seen in Hercules Legend of the Labors, written and illustrated by Charles Fithian. Good thing I spelled my name right on that one. So if you have seen the videos before, we are starting a new series. Now, we haven't done a physical drawing in a while. I'm going to go ahead. This is just going to be him standing and very lightly get him in here. Not going to make him too big because I want him to fill up this whole page. He's always, what we're going to do is we could start with the head. And you know what? We'll just turn this into kind of a, this will be kind of an example piece for anybody wanting to learn how to draw figures the cool dojo way. So we got a basic head shape. Okay. This line will be in the center of the head for where the eyes are going to go. The nose is going to go here. The mouth is going to go there. Halfway in the head for the eyes, halfway through the face for a nose, and halfway through the nose and chin for the mouth. These are the cheekbone areas because there'll generally be a skull here. Okay. And you have your jowl and your teeth will go in there, depending on what kind of face you want to make. Now, I haven't drawn him live in a long time. I'm going to get a little bit of a neck there. I like to go with doing some of these basic shapes. I like to draw muscly people because it's easier for me to get proportions right whenever I am drawing a figure. So we got some shoulders there, abdominal area, do riblets. And whenever you're drawing a figure, draw light. It's always hard to remember to do. Do some basic marble stuff here and get a good skeleton in. All right, got some shares. That's much faster to share it on your phone than anywhere else. Get a little bit more defined there. I'll get a bicy in there and a tricy. We're going to make him a little bit bigger. He is a demigod after all. Okay, get this basic body shape in there. And I'll show you if you want to learn to draw my Hercules. I don't think we're going to see that tricep. His arm is facing out that way. Chip, chip. Shim, shim, shim. Shim, shim. When you want to do a realistic figure, make your stuff in proportion. If you want to make it more, you want to make him more comic booky, then you accentuate other stuff, which this form's going to be covered anyway. Big hands, I like to give them a big ridge on this part of the thumb here. It's not really natural, but it's dynamic. Big knucks. And then this hand's going to be kind of from the side. Hint of a hand there. It's just like going to study hall, and the kids would sit over my shoulder and watch me draw pictures. And I'd say, quit, quit it. Not really, not really. No, but there will be a large explosion. Let's see. Chip, 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 chip. All right, we're going to go a little less on the legs. He will have clothes. Don't worry. Don't worry. This isn't going to be a nude. A little bit more. I can see around that. That's better. Straighten out that knee a tad. Mausers. All right. So we're doing this. Get some big old calf muscles in there. If you are looking to get a copy of Hercules, you can search for it on Amazon or go to cooldojo.com. Put that up here. cooldojo.com. All right. So we've got our basic bro shape in here. There's an ankle. Now, in all honesty, I forgot a lot of what I made him look like. I drew him so many times for the book that I just done forgot. I mostly forgot what I would do with his legs. I know that I gave him some armor bits. So he's going to have his belt, and he's going to have his loin. When you say loin, and we're going to have his hair back enough. I watched the old Kevin Sorbo Hercules a lot whenever I was a kid. I also watched a lot of the George Reeves ones. And, well, I watched one George Reeves one a lot. I believe he was in a couple different Hercules uh, serials, maybe, or might have just been the one. I'm going to get real close in on the face here so you guys can see this a little bit easier. And I can see around my darn camera. So we're going to get in here. My Hercules did have eyes. I'll give him a hint of a nose for this one. So I'm working pretty small. As you can see, this is the size of my pencil to the face here. Not too bad. Not too bad. You probably won't see that ear. His head's a little more turned. Again, we've kind of got him on a funny angle here with my phone's camera. That's right where I'm seeing it, kind of. Anyway, we'll pull back just a tad so we can get the rest of his arm right here. We're going to get that shoulder a little bit bigger. Give him a little bit of a trikey there. All right, and so what Hercules had was, in the book, I gave him arm wraps, which is super simple. It ended, I think it probably even changes several times. Hey, thanks for the hearts. Wrists. Down here. Onto the wristical area. And he's got, I believe they're flat, yeah. So if we're looking back at the book, he's got flat, yeah, the wraps went all the way down and kind of wrapped around him, like went around his fingers too. So it went around his whole hand like that. Got the flat gauntlets with a slight point. And this one's from the side, so that one went down to this way, into a slight point there. Okay, and you can kind of make these whenever you're drawing them a little more stuck up that way. So we have the regular belt. And then we're going to ink this so we can kind of cross these over so we can get good and on the belt here. And he has these little plates that go around the belt, little armor plates around the belt. And then I believe he has 1, 2, 3, 4 little plates across the loin here. So we may have to extend this loincloth. And he also wore tradish superhero speedo underneath there. So don't get any ideas. It's not a kilt. He wasn't naked underneath there. There's a lot of walking in the book. A lot of walking happening. Okay, he's got that. And then along with that, you got a couple spots. You have these belts that went behind his. This belt piece was just a little added accent that he has. It goes behind here. I don't know what it was for. It just looked cool. It gave him kind of a just a little added accent. You know, kind of like I liked in Metal Gear whenever Snake has the belts that kind of go from his, that kind of makes a little speedo on Snake. It's on Solid Snake. So let's get down here on his feet. And he didn't wear traditional sandals. He had these. He's got these. On time, brother. There you are. And so he's got these kind of shin guards in the book. And he's also got these feet plates that go across here. Across. Did you know the word across has a T in it? That's not true. That's not true at all. I'm sorry. I was lying. I just didn't want to sound stupid. Lieutenant Dan didn't want to be called crippled, just like I didn't want to be called stupid. So I just ended up putting these wraps around his legs. And then there was another one. I remember that now. I had another thing that would go across the feet. This was always the standard, but that's the back of the foot. Yeah, he had these little heel protectors and stuff like that. So we got those that go down here, and they covered up his toes. Again, if you're watching, if you want to get a copy of my book, Hercules, Legend of Labors, written and illustrated by Charlie Fithian, it's got all kinds of stuff in here for Hercules. Tonight we are drawing the main depiction of Hercules as seen in the book. There he is. Don't want to give too many spoilers away, but you should go get it. It's available on Amazon, or you can go on cooldojo.com, get yourself a copy. Oh, there was a little gap right here where the skin shows up. But we've got this. You won't see too much of his ankles, but we do have to put in the little bottom soles of his sandals. At the beginning of the book, there's a mention as to where his bits of armor come from. And I am going to do a little slight shading in here. Get a little navel. Should we go ahead and ink it? Why not? Yeah, we'll go ahead and clean up a little bit of the hairs. Okay, we can throw a little ink on there. We're good. That was about a 20-minute-er. We're going to get in soupy close on the face here. Do a little ink in it. So we're going to get our trusty. This is a tripless fine liner dry safe. Dry safe out there. Oh, shoot, this may be even a dead pen. No, it's good. It's good. It's just hard to see. Got so many darn lights in here. Martha, where are the GD garden lanterns? Give a little extra hair detail there. You won't see this ear because it's going to be behind hairs. This is where you take your time. This is supposed to be a pretty thin pen. Give those eyeballs a little bit of darkening, more so than what they need. You see all that okay? I haven't done a lot of inking in a while, I guess. Just on this paper. I don't think I've ever put any inks down on this paper. I've mostly been doing my inks digitally. So we got his nosy. These are pens that I'm not super in love with. I have to switch back over to my other pens. Switch back over to this is my regular standby pen. It's a Stabilo. All my pens, yeah, that works a lot smoother. That other one was kind of catching. Back in there. A little more tight. Let's get it tight. Now since I've seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, whenever I make my muscles, I keep thinking of the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider saying, "Watch out for my well-defined musculature." If you haven't seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, what a joy that movie is. And I keep leaning into more and more being in the camp that that's one of the best comic book movies ever made. I swear. Get down here on the nuts. Okay, we'll probably be erasing a lot of this so that we can see it. I'm going to pull this back a little bit so I can see the darn thing here. Give him a little bit more of an elbow. I'm getting a little sketchy there. Sketchy with my pen movement. I think I just have a cheap drawing pad here for this one. Don't forget your nips. And your abdominals. Sorry, sometimes I just forget to even. I know this is a cool dojo drawing class, but hell, I forget that I'm trying to teach you something. So, I'm a fan of more exaggerated look in figures. And what I am doing now is going in and putting my details in on my version of Hercules as depicted in my book, Hercules Legend of the Livers, written and illustrated by Charlie Fithian. Or Charles, officially. We've got that. Put in the rest of the wraps. Don't want to get those too wrinkled. But yeah, I haven't done an actual drawing and inking of a person or a figure character in a while. I've mostly been doing them all on the computer. My hands are, I realize my hands are not used to the work, especially on this paper. I think this paper is kind of throwing me off. So I'm drawing on a drawing pad, which is already on top of other paper. There's his wraps. And we could probably put some more detail in here after we get this main stuff done. Can you guys, everybody see it? Okay, cool. I'll get the foot armor in there. And if you're just joining, we are inking over the pencil work for this. I think we may end up, this will probably stay black and white for this class. Because all we're really going to get is flesh tones and some brown leather and did I get this thing inked? Can't tell. I don't think I got in on this. And you know, I have a light board that I just keep forgetting that I have, and I should be using that for this thing. Yo, darn it, I didn't do it. Why can't I do that? I can't do anything right. I think we got everything we need to get on this for right now. I think we can go in here and erase our ink lines and maybe double. We can check and see what we missed and fill it in a little bit more. I still think this looks up way too high. It's okay, everybody. I found my eraser. All right, now hopefully this doesn't smudge. Good, this eraser's not too dead. Well, look how wonky that eye is. To fix that, we will fix it. Get in here. We're going to clean this up a tad. The reveal of what we forgot to ink is now upon us. He's cute. All right, let's get all this off here. Whoa, where's my washcloth? Warsh, W-A-R-S-H, warsh. Washcloth. Use a washcloth. Now, see, look, his foot disappeared. Clean that up, and we didn't get the edge of that belt. We do have to fix that wonky eyeball, though. Fix those wonky eyes. All right, I'm gonna go in here and make some slight adjustments. There's my balls there. There we go. That's a little bit better. Now he's not quite so wonked. Don't want a wonky eye on your demigods. Am I right? Right, girls? Okay. Go in here. We're going to get the neck muzzles in there. All right, cool. Okay, I think for this one, we are going to, should we stick with inks or should we go in and put some pencil shades in there? What do you think? Come on, Benjels. All right, this one's fresh. Okay. I'm going to clean up a little bit of this dead pencil work in here. I tell you what, this one's just going to be black and white. So come down in here. We're going to get a lot of this pencil work in here. Real good, like. So we got our neck. A little bit of the nose area. Down here underneath the hairs. More on the nose. He has blonde hair, so we're not going to do too much dark shade under the hair. Okay. Let's get in here. I'll try and make it to here. Why not move this over a tad? You can see around my pencils. So we got there. Go in. We're gonna shade them up, shade them out, shade them up, shade them out. Get in on the riblets. Your sternum area. We're going to accentuate our pectoralis. Again, if you are watching, we're working on a Hercules drawing from my book, Hercules Legend of the Labors, featuring artwork from Charlie Fithian, written and illustrated by me. Some couple little samples of some stuff. We got monsters, more stuff in there. Check it out. It's on Amazon.com, or you can go to cooldojo.com. I got fuzz on my phone. You can go to cooldojo.com and shop t-shirts. I got my coloring book in here too. You guys want to see a shot of my coloring book? Where are you, Peter? There you are. There's my coloring book as well. So you can get my coloring book, Wizards, Warriors, Mutants, Monsters, Beasts, and Babes. Full of funky stuff. Things like this. Weird things. I got a couple that I already went and colored in. So you got stuff like this. Some samurai. Got some Medusas. Just wacky, crazy characters that pop into my head. You know, got some cool, fun stuff in here that you can color in. Wizards, Warriors, Mutants, Monsters, Beasts, and Babes adult coloring book. Amazon.com, where you can jump on cooldojo.com, browse around on there, watch other Cool Dojo drawing class videos, buy books. They'll connect you to the hub for buying books and t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of fun stuff. But right now, we are doing the Cool Dojo drawing class. And what I'm doing here is I'm just putting in super light shades on his muzzles. Our light's kind of coming in, kind of from the front, maybe top, sort of top down a little. And we're mostly just highlighting, like he's well lit. I'm not going to do anything crazy. We're not trying to invoke a feeling with this. We are just showing off the picture. See? Yeah, oh, I forgot part of his belt. Let's add that in with pencil, it looks like. So we got all of our abdominals. And then there. I'm gonna define this bicep area a little bit more. Keep putting it at this funny angle. That's more where I've got it. All right, we're gonna fill in the belt and leather area a bit harder because those are darker than the rest of him. He wears a brown leather I don't know what you call it. I mean, he's wears, you know, traditional superhero speedos. And I do say tradish because I prefer when Superman at least has his trunks, as we call them. Not speedos. They're trunks. Okay, we got that in there. Kind of, my lights are getting a little reflective also. My pencil work. How much better? Okay, I'm getting real close to the end of my battery on these. This is good for keeping these videos to a short length. Get down in here on the belt. This belt is gonna be, we're gonna have our highlights right on the edge, just so we can make sure we see it. This is kind of an invented reflection on this. We have a little bit of light showing on the edge, so we can tell that that's separate from the, forget it, we'll just call it a Speedo. His Speedo. Okay, get that in there a little bit more. Yeah, just, you know, some things work faster digitally. I'm gonna put a little bump right there. There's one here. And some things work faster in physical media. It's just true. I'm gonna go through here and kind of outline a little bit of these shades. Just a slight, it kind of sharpens it up a little bit. And I kind of like that. Just a slight sharpening, not too much of a gradation of shades, maybe for more of the spots that are rounded, kind of like this on the bice here, you know. So let's get in here. We're gonna kind of leave this one. We're gonna make that darker. You get the idea with the belt. And we'll keep these plate areas white because they are kind of supposed to be kind of like a metal on the outside of his, like a metal plate on the outside of his loincloth here. Someday we'll all start wearing loincloths again. And everybody's going to say, yeah, it's fine, man. It is what it is, right? I'm going to darken in the wraps. Darken in the wrap. Got to darken in the wrap on his hand now. Darken in the wrap. Darken in the wrap on his hand now. And get that in there. I'm not going to do too much detail shading on the wraps. I think that's good. Yeah. All right. Now we get into the legules. Do, again, lighter shading since his body is brighter. And we're going to do less shading on these gauntlet things that he wears on his forearms and on his shins are gold in the book. So it would be kind of a yellow, and I want them to be brighter than his skin, so they won't have shade. So I guess that's kind of something we could emphasize, is that since his body does have contours and whatnot, and it's a variation of color, we can put shades on his body. He is a bit tan, as you can see in the book. Again, my book, Hercules, Legend of the Laborers, written and illustrated by Charlie Fithian, available on Amazon. We can come in and put shades on his body, and we will do a little bit more. We'll depict more on his wraps because they are going to be darker. And we've also got them on a white background, so that adds to everything also. But we're going to leave his armor bits without shade because they're always a kind of reflective metal, like a gold metal. And since we don't want him to really float, let's give him a slight shade down here underneath his feetsies. Spot for that. And there we have it. There you go. That was pretty simple. Get a couple little detail lines in here just to tighten up the muzzles just a little bit. Not too veiny, not too crazy. Separate his edge there a little bit. There we go. Harder edge on. This is to kind of just separate. This is in front. You generally do something like that for if something is supposed to be in front of something else. It's a little technique to separate your subjects from foregrounds and backgrounds. Anyway, I think that's where it brighten up that knee a tad. And there we go. Hercules, legend of the labor. So, there you go. That's what we're going to do for tonight. I think that's good. It's a little one-off. What do you think? We can put a couple little pebbles in here. Just put a couple little rocks down here on the ground. Maybe some grass. Just a little grass. Couple little foreground stones. Maybe he's got some kind of ground, right? I like drawing little stones. Why don't I just do a big stone right there? And grass around it. Grass growing up around behind. Shoop, 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 shoop. Somebody needs to mow. Am I right? There you go. Hercules, Legend of the Laborers. There you go. And that's all for tonight. Make sure you join in next time for another episode of Cool Dojo Drawing Class.